Good evening. Welcome to Trivia Live. We're the only ones that's doing live trivia. It's getting to be very popular. And I welcome everybody that's watching tonight. Share, hit the like button and the bell and thumbs up. Yeah, love it. Love it. Definitely. Because uh, YouTube wants to see the like and the loves. And uh, let's get 100 likes tonight because I got a long trivia tonight, and I can't wait for everybody to play. Um, Tonight is comedy and food. We're going to start off with the food. Uh, I got some ones that's going to stump you, and then of course at the end, who is it? What is it? Oh yeah. So and I got a hint because I had to give it to Karen. I told Karen, I said, you know what? Red Fox. Red Fox is somewhere in there tonight. Let's see if you could find him. Hmm. And so scoring for trivia tonight, and always, is if you get the first answer in, you get 2 points. Everybody else gets 1 point. So we're going to have some fun. Linda's in here. Um I know we got more than just Linda that's playing. Linda, what do you think? Uh, she keeps doing the thumbs up thing. All right, so we are going to get into trivia tonight. Linda, if you're in and you're answering, you just get ahead. Yeah. So let's. There we go. There we go. All right, so let's get into trivia tonight. Food and comedy. All right, so what Mexican food is literally translate is little donkey? Uh, Susan's in here too. Susan's got the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, hit the bell, so we can let you know when we're doing trivia. Trivia night is every Friday, live trivia, and so far we're the only ones doing um, live trivia. Everybody else throws it in there, and you could just pull from it. But uh, Investigator News Network is the only one that does live trivia. What makes Mexican food literally translate is little donkey? What is it? What Mexican food? Come on, Linda and Susan, get ahead while you got the chance. What is it? What Mexican food translates is little donkey? Uh, um, uh, Quesadilla, chorizo. We got so far. Let me throw some answers up there. If you're over there on Facebook, hit it in the comments because your comments will come up to me and I'll see if you got this right or wrong. Uh, uh, Rudy, help Linda out. And the answer, here we go with the answer tonight. It translates to the burrito. It's a burrito. The little donkey translates as a burrito. All right. Um, Gas given off by bacteria makes the what in Swiss cheese? Linda says she switched. Are you on YouTube or Facebook? And we also welcome Hellions, Holes, and Poles tonight. We got them going. Uh, Giving a gas given off by bacteria makes the what in Swiss cheese? What's the gas do to the Swiss cheese? Uh, and Linda says she's on YouTube. All right, and the answer is holes. It causes holes. Um, so where's Karen tonight? She's my moderator. So is Mary. Neither one. I don't have neither moderator in here tonight. Uh, I'm on my own, huh? After the whole wolfy thing on the mask on my uh, eagle. I don't know. Everybody's kind of sitting back. What is the United Kingdom's first and United States second best-selling chocolate bar? Is it Reese's, Kit Kat, or Milky Way? Oh, so which one is it? What is the United Kingdom's first and U.S. second best-selling chocolate bar? Huh. There's a multiple choice on this. Is it Reese's, Kit Kat, or the Milky Way? It'd be United Kingdom's first and U.S. second's best. Ah, so we're waiting on Linda and Susan to answer. All right, where is everybody? They always get in here late, and then they want their points. Susan says Kit Kat, and Linda says Reese's. All right, so here we go. We'll get the answers. I got a lot tonight. I got a lot of questions tonight for those that get in late. And the answer is Kit Kat. So, Susan, with the Kit Kat. Oh, boy. All right, Linda, catch up. Do the catch up. Do the catch up. All right, so what does red velvet cake gets its red color from? I'm going to tell you it's a bug. And when I see this, I went, ooh, I'm not eating red velvet cake no more. So what does red velvet cake gets from its red color from? So what is it? Oh yeah. What bug? I gave you a hint. It's a bug. Now I'm like I'm not eating red velvet cake. And hello to Wildest. Welcome to the show. And tonight is comedy and food. Right now we're doing food. What does red velvet cake gets its red color from? Susan's already saying it's gross. When I seen it, I went, ugh. Does Duncan Hines know this? Does Pillsbury know this? I'm like, no, Ellie's not eating the red color cake no more. All right, so what is it? And the answer is crushed beetles. Yeah, crushed beetles give the red color in red velvet cake. No, Ellie ain't eating it no more. I'll stick to my spice cake. All right, so mung bean sprouts are usually sprouts used in what type of food? We just, you know what? Yeah, there we go. Nasty. Not my homemade one. Oh yeah, gross. Oh yeah. And Wildest threw in with Carmite. Oh yuck. Oh yeah. All right, so mung bean sprouts are usually sprouts used from what type of food? Uh, yeah, so what type of food? Nobody got the beetles. Oh, I bet we're all grossed out now. I'm just going to get red food coloring and for the homemade thing. And why don't they put that on the label? What it's made out of? Okay. Let's move on to the mung bean sprouts. So, and Linda in Illinois says Chinese. It's a Chinese type of food. Huh. All right, here we go. I got great questions tonight. You guys are going to love this. Chinese cooking, so Chinese food. So, if you said Chinese, you got it right. And the next one. We're zooming through these tonight. All right. In food labeling, what does GM mean? That's a new one. We're starting to now see GM on the labels of food. So what does GM mean? Hmm. And for those that watched last show with the Wolfie head, it was my 20-year-old granddaughter. I called her up after the show and said, "Who did it?" And she did it, and she apologized. But I think it was funny, and it was a little sense of humor added to the show. Genetically modified is what we're getting in the chat room. Genetically modified, is that what it means? And the answer is genetically modified is the answer. So if you answered that, you got it right. On to the next. Liberty cabbage is another name for what? Liberty cabbage. Got to look at the cabbage family. So what is normally cabbage used for? That would give you the answer. So liberty cabbage is another name for what? Oh, what is it? Let's see if our chat room could get it right. Now, if you're over there on Facebook or you're watching this later, put your answers in because you will get points. And if you happen to beat those in our chat room, we'll let you know. And the scoring, if you get the first answer in, you get 2 points, and everybody after that gets 1 point. I think did I stump you guys? Are we stumped? Oh, did I stump you? Huh? Liberty cabbage. What do we got? We got Susan says coleslaw with a question. Is it? Is it coleslaw? Huh? And that's what we're getting from Linda too. Linda in Illinois. So what is the answer? And here we go. Sauerkraut. Sauerkraut. Oh, I got you guys. This is going to be a hard one. All right, black-eyed peas are not peas. What are they? Black-eyed peas. And we have that usually on New Year's. So what if it's not peas, if they're not green peas, what are they? Linda, last week you got so close. You were right in there with Karen. And Karen, I don't know where Karen and William is. I think William went to sleep. William said, I'm going to get the night off. I told him he had the night off, and he sounded sleepy. So maybe he'll be in. So what are they? They say beans in the chat room. So black-eyed peas are not peas. What are they? They are beans. Where's Wildest? Come on, Wildest, jump in here. I think Wildest was hoping that I was doing music. All right, so what does the word pizza mean in Italian? Now, I worked for a lot of pizza restaurants, managed them, and it wasn't until Domino's that I learned that pizza meant what? What? And it was spread from the east, from Italy to the east of the United States, and then spread throughout the states, they say. So what does it mean? What does it mean? What does the word pizza mean? Everybody knows. I know they're screaming it. They're screaming it in Italian. What's it mean? Pie, which makes the phrase pizza pie redundant. So, yes, it is a pie. All right, so, all right, now we're going to get on to comedy. We're done with the food. We're going to get into comedy, and later on, I got some pictures. See if you know what these food items are. But now we're on to comedy. He starred with Gene Wilder in a 1980s movie about two innocent men doing time for a bank robbery. Who is this? So, who was with Gene Wilder? A lot of people know what the movie is. I have the name and the movie. Now, this is one of my favorites. I like Gene Wilder, and I like the gentleman who played with him. And they went on to do plenty of movies together. Like I think he was even in Silver Streak. So He starred with Gene Wilder in a 1980 movie about two innocent men doing time for a bank robbery. Uh, we got Richard Pryor, and we got Richard Pryor in Stir Crazy. So, and the answer is, I know everybody's going to love these um, comedy questions. All right, and the answer was Richard Pryor in Stir Crazy. If you guys uh, answered right. All right, comedic, which of these comedic dynamos starred his career on a very popular 1970s sitcom as an alien from another planet? Boy, okay, I had to read that over again. Which of these comedic dynamos, it's one guy, started his career on a very popular TV sitcom as an alien from another planet? You got to think of who it was. So in the 70s, and it started off in Happy Days. He started off in Happy Days. We got Robin Williams down in the chat room. Is it Robin Williams? And uh, what was the show? Um, and the answer was Robin Williams. Mork from Ork is where he was in Happy Days. And it went on to be the series of Mork and Mindy. So if you answered Robin Williams, you got it right. You got it right. All right. He made a string of movies since the 1970s, including one about 1976, a washed up hockey player turned golfer. Who is this comedy sensation? Mork. Yeah, Mork and Mindy. How many love that show? I remember it was on, and it was the night with Happy Days, Mork and Mindy, and Laverne and Shirley with Laverne and Shirley. I mean, we would be sitting and waiting. Same way with Saturday Night Live. So this guy here made a string of movies since the 1990s, including one in 1996 about a washed-up hockey player turned golfer. Who is this comedy sensation? Do you know, guys? Susan and Linda, do you know who this is? Huh. Now, he went on to make many movies, but this was one of the first ones that was made him a sensation. Susan don't know. She said no, she don't know. All right. What about you, Linda? Do you take a wild guess? Chat room, take a wild guess at this one. Linda don't know. All right. So who is it? Now, once you see it, you're going to go, yeah, and you're going to probably know the movie. And the answer is Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler. Oh, yeah. All right. Which actor played the iconic character Ace Ventura in the movie Ace Ventura, Pet Detective? Who played Pet Detective? I know a lot of us didn't see it, but we all knew. They threw it all over the internet and TV on the Pet Detective. So, do we know in the chat room? And we're waiting for Linda in the chat room to see if she knows. And now, Susan said Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey. Is that who played Ace Ventura, the Pet Detective? All right. And the answer is? Here we go. I got a lot of them tonight, folks. Answer is Jim Carrey. And we go on to the next one. Here we go. Which comedy duo is known for their slapstick humor and black and white films? This was a comedy duo. in black and white. We're talking way back, folks. The first two that caught the attention for comedy. All right, Beth, jump in. Jump in, Beth, so we can. Um, uh, they're already ahead of you quite a bit. We're almost halfway through trivia tonight. So, which comedy duo is known for their slapstick humor and black and white, um, and black and white films? And Susan says Laurel and Hardy. Beth said she fell asleep. Not supposed to fall asleep before. Dinner does that. We get full. We get the dinner has sleepy sauce on it, and out we go. Out we go. So, all right. So, what is the answer? What is the answer of the uh, comedy duo known for black and white films? Answer is Laurel and Hardy. Laurel and Hardy. All right, on to the next one. We're going through these quick tonight. All right, which stand-up comedian is known for his "you might be a redneck" jokes? A stand-up comedian, folks. You might be a redneck if, and he was known for this. So who was it? Yeah, I think stand-up comedian now. I think he may have been in a few TV shows, um, but for stand-up comedy, he was more of a stand-up comedian. And Beth said Jeff, but she can't think of his last name. Jeff who? Jeff. And I can't give you any more hints because it would give the name away. And we're still waiting on Susan and Linda. Do you know who this is? Which stand-up comedian is known for "you might be a redneck" jokes? And Susan doesn't know. And I think Linda's kind of thinking on this. So, all right, here we go. And the answer is Jeff Foxworthy. Jeff Foxworthy. In the movie Mrs. Doubtfire, which actor played the character of Mrs. Doubtfire? Now that everybody should know. Everybody should know. We mentioned him earlier with Mork and Mindy. Mork from Ork. I think Mork from Ork and Mork and Mindy was his start off. And we're getting Robin Williams down in the chat room tonight. So if you're over there in Facebook and you want to comment, throw it in there. We'll tally up your votes because there's still a lot more to come. We're about halfway through. And the answer, let's get to the answer. And the answer is Robin Williams. The answer is Robin Williams, who played Mrs. Doubtfire. All right. In the TV show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, what is the name of Will Smith's character? What is the name of Will Smith's character in Fresh Prince? Can you remember? And this is some of the younger folk that in the 80s and 90s will know this one. So let's see if our chat room knows it. Bring in the old, bring in the new, and bring in the really old, like Laurel and Hardy. Yeah, that's real old. That's early TV in black and white. Susan doesn't know. In the TV show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, what is the name of Will Smith's character? Now, I only watched it because my kids watched it. They loved it. Um, um, that one and the one with the twins. They watched that and a few others. Beavis and Butthead was the other one that my son loved. No, no more Beavis and Butthead. Yeah. All right. So the answer is, let's see if anybody knows. The answer is Will Smith, same as his real name. So he played him the same name in The Fresh Prince as his actual name. Huh. All right. On with the next one. I still got a lot ahead, folks. Roland and Martins. What was the show name? Roland and Martins. You know, I was flipping through the channels the other day and they were showing clips. I went, wow. So I ran it through YouTube, folks, and they've got the whole all the seasons. So Roland and Martins, what? What was the show name? You had to be in the 70s. So some of these younger folks really won't get this. Not unless their folks or their grandparents watch it still. And I'm getting laughing in the chat. Is it laughing? Uh, we'll find out. Now, Beth, you remember we used to watch this all the time, and the answer is laughing. There was quite a few really cool shows afterwards, but on I think it was Sunday nights. If you didn't watch Disney, everybody was over on NBC for laughing. All right, here we go. Um, all right, and laughing the show. Who played the little girl in the big rocking chair? Y'all remember that? Full grown woman. She's a very well known comedian actress. And she would sit in the chair and she would, I think she had a little phrase that she said too, and that's the truth. Something like that. I don't know. Folks, so in laughing, who played the girl in the chair, in the big rocking chair? Does anybody remember her name? Boy, I know that the younger generation isn't going to get this one. Maybe they might. Oh, Susan, can you picture her though? I mean, I know everybody can picture her, but they just can't. And the name. Me, I was like, it's and then after I found out what the answer was, I was like, yeah, it's her. It's her. Uh, now we're having Linda. Linda, no. Um, who is it? Uh, Linda, do you know? Susan doesn't know. It looks like Beth doesn't know. And the answer is Lily Tomlin. Lily Tomlin. Everybody's like, yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh. All right. Young Frankenstein. What actress played the role of the housekeeper? She's the one that answered the door. Who played that? She's also known in Saturday Night Live. She's also done, I think, a TV show now. So, Young Frankenstein. You were close, I know. See, it was like I know her name. Oh, I could see her in that chair. And her name is yeah. All right. So Young Frankenstein. This is another one you guys are going to go. Oh, and her name is. She played in with Sherlock Holmes. She played in um, that one with oh crap, I can't remember a lot of these names. Uh, where there was a black sheriff. Um, she sang. She was I guess, the showgirl. So young Frankenstein. What actress played the role of the housekeeper? Does anybody know? I know everybody watched Young Frankenstein. That was a great movie. So the answer is Madeline Kahn. Madeline Kahn. See, everybody's like, oh yeah, that's right, that's right. Ah, all right. Which comedian famously used absurdity and surrealism in his comedy, incorporating props like the rubber chicken? So this guy, he had, if you guys remember, when he first started off, it was about this rubber chicken. I never did understand why he used a rubber chicken. He went on to make very famous movies. Still of the night. um, so which comedian famously used this chicken? So, and I did give everybody a hint tonight that Red Fox would be used tonight. Let's see if you guys can answer that one. Answer that question. So, which comedian famously used absurdity and realism in his comedy, often incorporating props like a rubber chicken? You guys, once you guys hear the name, you're going to remember he had this chicken and a lot of his when he first started off. And so the answer is, I don't see it yet in chat. These are hard tonight. Steve Martin. Steve Martin used the rubber chicken in the beginning of his career. All right, so name this comedian. We're getting down to pictures now. Name this comedian. He did stand up comedy, and he also did many movies. So, who is this? Name the comedian. So, if you're over on Facebook, you can always put your answers in the comments, please, and we'll count them. You'll be counted. So, oh boy, I'm stumping you guys tonight. I ought to be throwing popcorn at you guys because, boy, you guys are just missing it. Not on the mark. So, name the comedian. And the chat room is saying George Carlin. George Carlin. Is that correct? Is this George Carlin? He's older in this one. When I was seeing him, he was really young. And the answer is George Carlin. On to the next one. All right. Name the comedian. Who is this? I got name the comedian and name the food. So, but we're on name the comedian. Who is this? Beth is waking up. She needs a cup of coffee and maybe a cold shower or no water on the face real quick. So, who is this comedian? Name the comedian. Who is this? And the answer, okay. And the answer is, and everybody in chat says Eddie Murphy. And that is right. If you said Eddie Murphy, then you got this right. All right. On to the next. All right. Name the comedian. Who is this actress? She was on Saturday Night Live and she went on to marry Gene Wilder. And she died too early. She was in quite a few films. So let's see if anybody knows. Be sure to hit the subscribe and like button and the bell. And the bell will let you know that we got live trivia happening. So far as I know, I'm the only one doing live trivia. So who is this? Now, Susan said Gilda Radner. Rosanna, Dana. Yeah, Rosanna Dana. Uh, everybody, these are, when I seen Saturday Night Live and we had they called them prime time players. And when when they all left, and it became the new Saturday Night Live, it just wasn't as good as the original primetime players. Um, all right, so we got Gilda Radner in the chat room. And so, what is the answer? And the answer is Gilda Radner, of course. Um, let's see. There we go. And Susan jumped in with the first to get Gilda Radner. All right, so now on to the next one. Name the comedian. Who is this? Boy, this is going to be a hard one, folks. Um, but he was a comedian, a stand-up comedian, but then he took a step back. And this gentleman went on to make many movies. So he was more of into the director or producer, and not so much into being in the movies. Now, so name the comedian. Let's see if anybody, hopefully I stumped y'all, because this one here, I think is going to be a hard one. So does anybody know who this is? It was stand-up comedian and mostly made movies like Stir Crazy, and you would see him in the credits. And quite a few of these other movies, I believe even Young Frankenstein. And Susan says Mel Brooks. Is this Mel Brooks? And maybe the hints gave her. Did the hints help you out, Susan? All right, so jump in, Beth and Linda. All right, the answer is Mel Brooks. Answer is Mel Brooks. All right, name this food. Name this food. This should be an easy one. It's a close-up of what is it? What's the food? We use it a lot. I know my kids want the food all the time. So, what is it? Name the food. And I'm waiting on the chat room, and I can't give many hints because Linda said cheese stick. Is it a cheese stick or is it something else? Name the food. It's a close-up. It's a big close-up of a food. And we got cheese sticks. We got macaroni. Anybody else know? If you're watching for the first time, throw your answers in. We'll definitely count your points. And what is the answer? And the answer is spaghetti. It is a piece of spaghetti. So, in the next one. All right, name the food. This is a single piece of a food. So, what is it? It looks crystal. You can see through it. And this is only a single, I'm trying not to give it away. It is a grain of it, a chunk of it, a piece of it. It's yeah, my sister don't like macaroni and cheese. My kids love it. Well, I made a cheeseburger macaroni thing tonight and added all kinds of stuff to it, and the kids loved it. Now we have sugar. We have salt. Is it a grain of salt or a grain of sugar? Or is it a grain of what? What is it? All right, so what I'm going to go ahead. We got sugar, salt, and Beth isn't answered yet, but I'm pretty sure she'll throw it in there. And the answer is sugar. The answer is sugar. Boy, we're getting close to the end. And name this food. Now, this one was hard. I had a hard time, and when I heard about it, I went, really? Wow. So, name the food. It comes in many varieties. I know we all snack on them. Um, um, like I said, varieties. Let's see, we got barbecue and cheddar and um, sour cream. And anybody know yet? Anybody know? Anybody know what this is? Name the food. I think this one's going to stump everybody. I knew the next one. In fact, I confused this one with the next question. That's name this food. It looks horrible. I don't know if I'd eat it up, what looks like up close, but farther away, what is it? Okay, we've got potato chips in the chat room. Is that what this is? And the answer, all right, here we go. And the answer is potato chips. Yep, if you answered potato chips, you got this right. All right, on to the next one. Name the food. I knew this one. I think even DB, where's DB tonight? Because I think even DB knew this one because I've done this one before for a close-up of food. So name the food. And oddly enough, I'm not very good at trivia, but I got this one right. So, see, I thought it was a potato chip. I confused it. I said, there you go, there's a potato chip. No, it's not a potato chip. It is I'm trying to think of, if I tell you anything close to it, it's an easy, it's an easy answer. So Susan says a cornflake. Is it a cornflake? Okay, and the answer? And the answer is, it's a cornflake. Answer is a cornflake. All right, name the comedian. Now, this one was on Laugh-In. This is an old one. A lot. I tried to mix the old and the new. We've seen Eddie Murphy earlier. Now name this comedian. This one was on Laugh-In, and she went on to be pretty much a stand-up comedian, and she really didn't make it in the Hollywood scene for movies. So who is this comedian? I know everybody. Linda, I know you know this one, and you're like, because I did the same thing. I said, it's not Lily Tomlin. Don't put Lily Tomlin in there. Do we know? No Googling. We don't, for those that are joining us for the first time, we don't Google. And if you want to go ahead and put your answers in the comments, we will consider it. If you don't want to play in our chat room, you can always just answer, and I'll go through the comments and see if you know. And we got Ratcliffe. Who is this? I know Susan. I know Linda knows this one, but she just can't. It's right there. And the answer is Ruth Buzzi. Ruth Buzzi. Yeah, see, there we go. All right, name the comedian. I think these last ones are named the comedian. Now, who is this? Now, he's older. Not only did he star on Laugh-In, but he was on the Carol Burnett show, regular. You didn't remember Ruth Buzzi? Ruth Buzzi. Look her up and go watch her. She is very funny. So name now. Who is this? It didn't look like her. Well, if I would have done a young one of her uh, in character for what she played in Laughing, everybody would have. I don't know. I think everyone would still not really know her name. Like I said, after uh, Laughing, and she went on. I think she played on um, a few other sitcoms. Um, but she just never really made it. Okay, and everyone here says this is Don Rickles. Is that who this is? Yes, Don Rickles. We have a few more and we'll be done for the night. And the next one, name this comedian. Name this comedian. He was on, oh boy, I'm trying to think of some of the shows he was on. He was a stand up comedian. He was well known in Las Vegas. He was a big Vegas show. Also, um, I can't remember the name of the show. Um, you have to look. This is a very young picture of him, folks. Very young picture. So, name who is this comedian? I think if I had an older picture of him, y'all would know. Now, I'll let you know that it was the hint of the show. And I said, if you remember him, keep your eye out for who. Because one of the questions would be about who. And I told many, many people. So even Karen, I told her about it to keep her eye out on it. And I said at the very beginning of the show, this man would be somewhere in the show tonight. Can you remember the name? Oh boy, I think I stumped everybody, even though I gave you hints. I gave you hints at the very beginning. Beth, I think everybody. Beth, if you would have came in the middle of the beginning of the show, I said this gentleman would be somewhere in the show tonight. Does anybody remember? Beth says Red. What was his last name? Red what? Oh, Red Sanford. We got the red right. See, I gave you all a hint at the very beginning of the show. I think I'm going to start doing that. I'll give you a hint and see if you guys remember. I think I stumped y'all and I even gave you the answer. All right. So the answer is Red Fox. Red Fox. See, I told you if I had a big, older picture, y'all would know who it was. All right. Name the comedian. I think this is the last one. This was mentioned earlier when someone, I think, thought Robin Williams, but they answered this instead. So name the comedian. And we're getting Rodney Dangerfield. Rodney Dangerfield. And we get Rodney Dangerfield. And the answer, boy, I think this is the last one, folks. And the answer is Rodney Dangerfield. Yes, Rodney Dangerfield. All right. And this is, yeah, thanks for watching Investigator News. So we have Linda had 28. Beth had 20. Beth jumped up there really quick. The lips, huh? So, of course, there's only 3 playing, so I think we know who won. All right. So, oh, oops, I got the total wrong. All right. So we had um, Linda with 28, Beth with 20, and way to go, Susan with 33. Way to go, Susan with 33. So, uh, see, Susan, Linda, you were close. Linda's getting right in there. And Linda always says, I'm not good at this, but she was right in there tonight and last week with Karen. So we thank you all for watching. And we hope you come back and tell everyone about our live trivia on Friday nights. I know I'm competing with everybody going to see the football games and a Friday night when everybody goes out. But share it, put it on your main page, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and of course the bell. Um, and get us more viewers. So with that, folks, I thank you all for watching, and we hope that you come back next Friday for trivia.